Shalom Israel. It's your brother Marcus G back with yet another Truth for Thought. First and foremost, I got to give all honor, praises, and glory to the Most High. I must give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Second of all, I mentioned this in the last Truth for Thought, although it didn't air on the Sabbath like it was supposed to. But in the last Truth for Thought, I mentioned that our beloved brother and sister, King Greg and Queen Sharon, are actively seeing and helping and caring for, as far as the aftercare of our beloved sister, Queen Alicia, after her surgery. In the last Truth for Thought, included in the description, as it is again, this Truth for Thought, King Greg and Queen Sharon's CashApp. I'm asking yet again, as they're continuing to do this, they're continuing to be charitable any way they can, with their time, with the continued helping with the upkeep of our beloved sister, Queen Alicia. So I'm reaching out to you again, Israel, and I'm asking some of you who have already, I want to say thank you. If you haven't, I'm asking again, if you are in a position to be charitable and donate to our beloved King and Queen, who are actively playing a role in the speedy recovery of our beloved sister, Queen Alicia. And they're doing this as a help to both Queen Alicia and her king, King Michael, to try to keep their life as normal as possible. They are doing this. So I'm reaching out to you again, Israel, and I'm asking if you can be charitable. Their cash app is down in the description. All right. So let's get into it, because we got a lot of scripture and some things of the world. I want to give the explanation for this particular Truth for Thought. I came across this sometime last week, and there's a video. The video was done by another brother in the truth, and he did it on TikTok. But he noticed something, and I noticed it too. But when he put this little video together, I was like, yo, I have to show Israel this so that they'll see what's going on around him. Now, I saw it, but he had already put together a little video. And I'll have his information also in the description. And I'm giving a big, huge shout out to you, King. Hey, this was excellent. I did ask him for permission to utilize this. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video for you, Israel. And I want you to pay very close attention. He makes it extremely evident for you, but pay very close attention to what this is about. And like I said, I'm going to let y'all watch it, then I'll get back with y'all.
Wait a goddamn minute. Hold the fuck on. So you're telling me that Joe Biden is about to give Africa $55 billion basically in reparations for apologizing for slavery? Is that what you're saying? Hold on. Let me see what it says right here. My nation's original sin. Biden apologized to delegation of African leaders for the unimaginable cruelty of slavery and offers them $55 billion. That's basically reparations, right? For slavery, right? Oh. So make sure I was reading that right. So I'm going to read it again. Biden said his country and Africa were united by America's original sin and the stolen men and women and the children brought to our shores in chains. So they about to give Africa $55 billion for slavery. Make this shit make sense to me, man.
The heart of the deep and profound connection that forever binds Africa and the United States together. We remember the stolen men and women and children were brought to our shores in chains, subjected to unimaginable cruelty.
Beijing has held its own high-level meetings with African leaders every 3 years for over 2 decades, whereas this week's U.S. summit is the first of its kind with African nations since 2014 under President Barack Obama. As part of it, Biden promised $55 billion for African food security, climate change,
You can't make this up. So you're about to give some African nations $55 billion and a policy for slavery that your nation and some African nations participated in. You're going to get them $55 billion, but you ain't going to give reparations to the descendants of chattel slavery that's in America, the foundation of black Americans, the children of Israel. Is that what you're telling me? Is this what you're doing? You trying to undermine us? So basically, y'all trying to undermine us. Get prepared, man. Babylon is about to fall, man. Thus says the Most High.
All right, Israel. So based on that video, a number of people may not have known about that video, and they might be wondering how much truth is in that. Well, I'll tell you this. We're going to look at it, okay? Obviously, from what you saw in the video, Joe Biden is giving $55 billion in some shape or form or fashion to Africa for the original sin of America, for slavery. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to get a few things. We're going to start off right here with the definition of reparations. Definition of reparation, 1A. A repairing or keeping in repair. 1B, reparations, plural, repairs. 2A, the act of making amends, offering expiation, or giving satisfaction for a wrong or injury. 2B, something done or given, keyword is given, as amends or as satisfaction. Definition number 3, the payment of damages, indemnification, specifically compensation in money or materials payable by a defeated nation for damages to or expenditures sustained by another nation as a result of hostilities with the defeated nation, usually used in plural. So I want to go from there and I want to get some synonyms to the word reparation. And here you see a bunch of synonyms. You see those top 3 words, damages, compensation, and restitution are relevant words. But here are the synonyms. Indemnity, indemnification, expiation, which we saw that in the actual definition, remuneration, quittance, repayment, retaliation, punitive damages. Then there's redress, punishment, satisfaction, atonement, requital, amends, and refund. Then there's recompense. Remember that word? We're going to see that in the Bible. Recoupment, reprisal or reprisals, reimbursement, settlement, solatium, or adjustment. Now, I want to add a word to all of these words, Israel. And I want you just to think about it. a gift of indemnity, a gift of indemnification, a gift of expiation, a gift of remuneration, a gift of quittance, a gift for repayment, a gift for retaliation, a gift for punitive damages, a gift for redress, a gift for punishment, a gift for satisfaction, a gift for atonement, a gift for requital, a gift to make amends, a gift as a refund, a gift as a recompense, a gift as a recoupment, a gift as a reprisal or as reprisal, a gift as reimbursement, a gift as settlement, a gift as solatium, or a gift of adjustment. Remember that word as well, gift. Remember, given and gift. Given from in the definition, gift, because I'm saying it right now. All right. So let's go and let's see how fictitious or non-fictitious what our beloved brother on TikTok, his name is at Bunchy Carter 2K. Man, big props to you, King, with this. You definitely have your eyes open. All praises to the Most High. So let's see if there's some truth to this. Now, this next thing that I'm about to present, in the last Truth for Thought, which got blocked for 72 straight hours, I brought to you a document or cut two documents from the U.S. national government. This is straight from the White House. What you're about to, I'm going to read it to you. You can read along the description and to all and links. The links and all scriptures for this Truth for Thought will be in the description. But these are the remarks by President Biden and President Sall of the Republic of Senegal at the U.S. African Leaders Summit dinner. Now, we're only going to read that President Biden said all the way up to when he turned the floor over to President Sall. All right, so we're going to see. Now, this happened, this summit was on December the 14th, 2022. This was at 7:16 p.m. Eastern time in the East Room. All right. Let's get it. This is all Joe Biden. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Biden. I am Jill Biden's husband. And welcome. All of you, welcome to the White House. And you know, we saw, as you saw coming in, we've decorated the holidays around a theme, which every year the president picks a theme or the first lady picks a theme for the holidays. And the theme this year was We the People. Now you can see that in the Constitution, right? And he gonna mention it. But that sounds like a selling point, doesn't it? We the people. And boy, you could sell a lot of folks on something like We the People. Let's just keep going. These are the first words of our Constitution. He just admitted it. And the very idea of America. That is the very idea of America. Keep that in mind, because you're going to read about a different idea of America, straight from him. And they're the leading words of many of your constitutions. So what he tried to do was get a common denominator between him or the country he leads, and the leaders of some of these other countries of Africa. Okay. For we, the people of Kenya, we, the people of Namibia, we, the people of Liberia, we, the people of the Federal Republic of Niger, and so many others. We, the people, reminds us that our country's greatest strength lies in just that, our people. Now, he's saying the greatest strength of these countries lies in their people. Our people lie at the heart of the deep and profound connection that forever binds Africa and the United States. Again, he's saying their people binds them together forever between Africa and the United States. Let's see why the selling point. We remember the stolen men and women and children who were brought to our shores in chains, subject to unimaginable cruelty. My nation's original sin was that period. He's admitting that slavery, or in his words, slavery, was America, his country, that he's the chief of, their original sin. We honor their descendants who our generation have for generations, who our generations have for generations have helped build this country. Now these descendants help build this country and propel it to higher heights, leading the charge, blazing new trails, and forging a better future for everyone in America. Again, this is this is verbatim. Per dictation. This is a dictated document where they dictated verbatim what he said. He said that on the backs of the descendants of some people from over there in Africa who were not African, who were not of Put, who were not of Canaan, who were not of Ham, who were not of Mizraim. But the descendants of these people, it was on their back that this, and I'm going to do it like this, quote unquote, great city. I'm saying those words for an exact reason because we're going to read about this great city. Was built on. Let me keep going. We celebrate an African diaspora community in the United States, millions strong. He's bragging on the ones here that associate themselves as African Americans. Pulling, and he said America, then it had to be X'd out because he meant Africa. Pulling Africa and the United States together in tight embrace of family. Well, you telling the biblical nationalities of Put, Canaan, Ham, and Mizraim this. And you say you remember the descendants of, but the descendants are not over there. Some of them are. But you've yet to address, Mr. Biden, the millions of descendants that are right over here. But it's okay. Quite all right. And Israel, trust me, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to address it as we go on. I might add, that includes my former boss, a man I was honored to serve with, Barack Obama, besides him for 8 years, who convened the first U.S. African Leaders Summit back when he was president. But this man is not a descendant of these people. Barack Obama isn't a descendant of those people. Incorrect. But again, another selling point. Because you're saying a man with melanated skin, it does not make him of these people, because he is what his father is. But a man of melanated descent held the first U.S. African Leaders Summit. So that's another selling point. As leaders, our people inspire us. Now he's saying his people inspire him. And he's addressing these other leaders of these other nations. And he's saying our people inspire. They awaken us. They awaken in us the possibilities that are within our grasp. And there are so many possibilities if we work together. Now he's making a proposition. Making a proposition. Remember one of them words, or you can remember both of them words, give and gift. Keep those two words in mind the more I'm going through this. They tell us hard truths. Whoa, because these folks can't, I tell the truth every Sabbath. They block me. They make it hard for me to tell the truth. But he said they tell us hard truths that we need to hear. And sometimes we have trouble listening. No, not sometimes. Because see, listen, this is what's crazy. The George Floyd account happened, right? This same dude who say we have trouble listening sometimes made an apology the very next time something like that happened. And it happened right after it. There was a young man shot 7 times in the back as he fled, and he made an apology. That's not sometimes. They ain't listening. They doing what the hell they want to do, but that's okay. That's okay. Again, I promise you, I'm gonna address that. They challenge us to live up to the values enshrined in so many of our founding documents. The values that were of those founding documents was built on the backs of my forefathers, not your people. That's facts. And to be worthy of the responsibility given to us by that sacred trust. And we don't trust our enemies. Not you, not Put, not Canaan, not Ham, not Mizraim. All of y'all, Mizraim had us in slavery just like you. Those other 3 nations, they played a role in us being enslaved by you. The Bible would tell you don't trust your enemies. My people don't trust you. He then ends it with the selling point again, we the people. In many years of being engaged in politics and international relations, I have never been more optimistic, and I mean it sincerely. I have never been more optimistic about our shared future because our people, okay, y'all people, you back to trying to sell some shit again, so you go back to relating to y'all and y'all people. Because particularly of our young people in all our countries. You ain't talking about all the young people. But the young people of my biblical nationality, they don't fucks with you in no shape, form, or fashion. Not the ones of my nation that know it. Together, we can deliver a world that is healthier and safer, more equal. I'm going to go back. Together, I'm going to read this slowly. We can deliver a world that is healthier and safer, more equal, more just, more prosperous, and more filled with opportunity for everyone. All of that. See, we've heard this shit before. All lies. All lies. Let me keep going. So please join me in raising your glasses. Now he trying to. Boy, you can read Psalms 83 about all these nations, all these biblical nationalities, saying the Bible literally says they have all basically come onto one accord. All these nations, they coming into one accord, as you can see. So please join me in raising your glass. If I can find one, he then laughs. This is mine here, he asked a question. And one of the White House staff says, yes, here. He then says, raising your glass to the people of America. Look who they raising their glass to first and foremost. To the people of America. To the people of the United States. Damn, he done repeated it. The same damn thing. That's the same damn place. Then he says to the people of Africa and to the promise and potential of our partnership. I'm telling you, this shit is all a selling point. Hear, hear, a toast is offered. And now I present to you a man who you all know, Mr. President. It's all yours. This is where he turns the floor over to President Saul, who again is the president of the Republic of Senegal at the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit. Now, let me explain to you what's happening. Esau done went to these leaders of many African nations, many nations of the continent of Africa. Let me say it like that. And made a proposition based on slavery. But now all of a sudden, those same people and the descendants of those people, who he obviously don't know who the fuck the descendants are, they want to get together to make it safer, healthier, more just for even these descendants. That is bullshit. Like I said, not long after he was saying something about George Floyd, he was saying something about a young man of Israel descent who was shot in his back 7 times as he was running away from said shooters. This is in his land that he's the chief of on his watch. But China been getting in good with Africa. Now, if y'all saw the royal gathering, I mentioned something called BRICS. So it's no irony or no coincidence that China is in bed with Africa, because the S is South Africa. The greater majority of Africa, actually. But again, his leverage is we the people, and we want to do this because we, as America, quote unquote America, did our original sin by getting some people from your land. All right. So now let's see how true it is. Is he talking about giving them $55 billion? Biden announces plans to commit $55 billion to Africa over the next 3 years. Yes, he is. And his selling point was because of America's original sin. Now, mind you, the descendants of that original sin are here in God-forsaken Babylon. Yet, Esau, crafty counsel, always got a motive. That's why in Psalms 83, the first biblical nationality mentioned is the tabernacles of Edom. There is no irony or coincidence. So Biden plans to give $55 billion on behalf of quote unquote America to Africa. Now, we read that document, which is straight from the White House, like I said. And I know last Truth for Thought, I had 2 documents straight from the U.S. government. Hey, they blocked that lesson for 72 hours straight. This one might get the same flavor. Nevertheless, I gotta bring it out and tell the truth. That document was dated December the 14th at 7:26 p.m. Look at this. December the 15th. President Joe Biden on Thursday said that the United States plans to commit $55 billion in African over the next 3 years as he hosted the continent's leaders at a summit in Washington, D.C. You saw that it literally said that this was the dictation of President Joe Biden and the President Sal of the Republic of Senegal, right there. It was for this summit. It literally says for the African summit. So far, the gathering has produced more than 15 billion. 1 day later, it had already produced more than $15 billion in new deals that will improve the lives of people across the African continent. Biden said that in the future, African leaders should continue to be at the negotiating table with other leaders. This proves that they was trying to compete with another country, other world leaders. But this further proves that, yes, Joe Biden gave the appearance that because of America's original sin of slavery, he was willing to repay the countries of Africa with $55 billion in some shape, form, or fashion over the next 3 years. Okay? So let me stop sharing my screen. Now, if you would, turn with me in your 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha, and that would be a reparation. It very much so appears he's trying to pay Africa reparations for the slavery of Israelites, not Hamites. Hamites weren't enslaved. Canaanites weren't enslaved. Mizraimites weren't enslaved. Putites weren't enslaved. For the enslavement of Israelites. So with that, I want to turn in the Bible to Ecclesiasticus. We're going to start in the Apocrypha, and we're going to be all over the Bible. I promise y'all we're going to be all over the Bible today. Ecclesiasticus, and we're going to get, no, I apologize, Ecclesiastes. Yeah, Ecclesiastes. We're going to get chapter 7 and verse 7. And it reads, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Didn't I tell you, remember that word gift? Didn't I tell you, remember the word? Because all gifts are not the same. The Most High can give a gift that is not the same as a gift from certain men or from man itself, especially an enemy. But let's just see. Now let's go to Ecclesiasticus. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And it reads, there is a gift that shall not profit thee. That's this type of gift. That's what a reparation is. A gift that shall not profit thee. And there is a gift whose recompense is double. Remember that word double. And here's that word recompense. So let's get the definition of the word recompense. Because they said that word recompense was synonymous with reparations, right? So let's get the definition of recompense. Here's the definition of recompense. Making amends to someone for loss or harm suffered. Compensate. Offenders should recompense their victims. Compensation or reward. Down here where it says now. Compensation or reward given for loss or harm suffered or effort made. Substantial damages were paid in recompense. See, that second gift is a gift from the Most High. And it is actually a reward, but to a certain people, not to everybody. And I said, remember that word double, because we're going to see that word again. We're going to even read about a cup that filleth over, double. Let's keep going. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. We're going to go back to the Bible. Let me stop sharing my screen. Now we know what the word recompense truly means. We see the two different types of gift. One that profits thee not, Israel. It's not going to profit you. Even if they gave you reparations, it would profit you not. And I'm going to show you why. It wouldn't profit you anything. So now we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus. We're going to stay in Ecclesiasticus. We're going to get chapter 20 and verse 29. We're going to drop down to verse 29. Listen to this. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise. Remember what we read back in Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Listen to this. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise and stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove. This is that gift that won't profit you. This is reparations, Israel. But for you all here in God-forsaken Babylon, that gift of reparations will profit you not. Let me keep going. Let's go to Exodus, back to the Old Testament. We're going to go to Exodus, to the Torah, actually. Exodus chapter 23 and verse 8. Let's see what it says. And thou shalt take no gift. This wasn't to everybody. This Israel is to you. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteousness. We just saw that about blinding the wise. And it perverted the words of the righteousness. We say something about the mouth in the last verse. Let me keep going. We're going to stay in the Old Testament, stay in the Torah. We're going to go to Deuteronomy. We're going to get chapter 16 and verse 19. And it reads, thou shalt not rest judgment, thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. Even if they offer you reparations, this is why you shouldn't take that gift. I mean, the Most High is like throwing signals. We done been to multiple places. Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus. One more time. Ecclesiasticus, and we're going to get chapter 34 and verse 18. See about these gifts. He that sacrificeth of a thing wrongfully gotten, his offering is ridiculous. And the gifts of unjust men are not accepted. Do not, even if they offer you this reparations, don't accept it. And I promise you, we're going to get into the reason why. But just keep that in mind about that gift. Now, the people have put Mizraim, Canaan, and Ham. This don't apply to them. This is only to you, Israel. So them taking their gift has nothing to do with you. That's one reason why I wouldn't worry about it. Second, if they even offered me a gift, it'll profit me not. We done read all about what it does for you, Israel. We read about the two different types of gifts. So now I want to show the whole world how reparation looks. And this is from of old in regards to the Most High. From in the past. So now let's go to Amos 1. Let's go to Amos 1. We're going to read all of Amos 1. We're going to read all 15 verses of Amos 1, and we're going to read 6 verses of Amos 2. We're going to see what reparations looked like, and this is the Most High never changes. He never changes. Because we're going to also look at a prophecy from Babylon. This same place that their chief prepared this gift in one day. Of the $55 billion, they had 15 billion already generated in one day. But that 55 billion go over 3 years, they said. So we're going to look at some things of the past and as far as the Most High, and we're going to even compare it to a prophecy for God-forsaken Babylon. And we're going to see, one, if the Most High changes, I'll tell you he doesn't. I will tell you there's not going to be a difference in what we're finna read now and what we're going to read then. But let's just see what reparations look like. And it's not in the form of no gift. I mean, if you want to call it a gift, it ain't a gift I want. But let's just check it out. Amos 1:1. The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, son of Joash, king of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, the Lord will roar from Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the habitations of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of the Carmel shall wither. Thus saith the Lord. Here comes some of these reparations. Because see, everybody want to paint it like the Most High is. Not everybody. That's all inclusive. I can't say that. It's a great number of people of many different denominations, many different religions, even those not even associated with a religion. They say that the Most High loves everybody. Everybody gonna be singing Kumbaya. We finna see. We finna see. Thus saith the Lord, for the transgressions of Damascus and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have threshed Gilead with threshing instruments of iron. But I will send a fire into the house of Hazael, which shall devour the places of Benadad. That God-forsaken Babylon is reparations. Just one count, but we're going to keep going. We're going to see if it changes. I will break also the bar of Damascus and cut off the inhabitant from the plain of Avim, and him that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden, and the people of Syria shall go into captivity unto Kir, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the places thereof. And I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon. And I will turn mine hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith the Lord. That, my friend, is reparations in the eyes of the Most High. He is a very just being. Don't get it twisted. They earned this. But I promise you, I'm going to get to you, Babylon. I'm going to get to you. Let me keep going. Verse 9, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the places thereof. Reparations again, because it was some people taking captivity. Those same people been going through captivity over and over and over again. And the descendants of them, some of those descendants are right here in God-forsaken Babylon. Just keep going. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. Thus saith, that's another reparation for Edom, Idomia, Edomites. Coincidentally, the chief of this place, known as quote unquote America, is that an Edomite. That's let me keep going. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the women and child of Gilead, that they might enlarge their border. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah, and it shall devour the palaces thereof, with shouting in the day of battle, with a tempest in the day of the whirlwind. And their king shall go into captivity. Remember that their king is going to go into captivity. Kings of all these places or biblical nationalities that occupied these places, if it made reference of a place, he and his princes together, saith the Lord. So there's going to be a captivity. Let me keep going. We're going over down to Amos 2:1. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burned the bones of the king of Edom into lime. But I will send a fire upon Moab. It shall devour the palaces of Kerioth, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sounds of the trumpet. Another type of reparation. This is real reparations. See, this ain't what y'all want to talk about. Y'all don't want to talk about this. That's all right. I'm going to keep going. And I will cut off the judge from the midst thereof, and will slay all the princes thereof with him, saith the Lord. Real reparations right there. Because my tribe up next. And y'all gonna probably wonder, why is this here? And I'm gonna explain it to you. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Judah, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the law of the Lord. The Bible tells you Judah, top tribe, the big brother, did not keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I'm going to be a whole lot more descriptive with a number once I finish this. Hold on. And have not kept his commandments, and their lies caused them to err, after which their fathers have walked. But I will send a fire upon Judah, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem. Now, I mentioned it was the top tribe, right? Judah, my tribe. We was the top tribe, top dog, running some things till we, or at least 2/3 of us, began to transgress the law. But it wasn't just 2/3 of my tribe, as we're going to read a little later. But I want to just address my tribe, right? Back in the day, when I used to be real mischievous, I was a mischievous child. I'd get into some stuff, right? They tell me, boy, Yola, we can tell you tomorrow not to do it, not to do this. You'll find something else to get into. And it wasn't that I was being hard-headed, because I was doing it something different, though, right? That I wasn't supposed to be doing. They said, but that's okay. You're going to keep doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, that you know it's not right. And a hard head going to make a soft ass, right? Let's see if that happened with Judah. If they hard-headed asses, my tribe, made our asses soft. Let's see what happened. So now I want to turn to Isaiah 3:1. Let's go to Isaiah 3:1. Yeah, let's see how soft our ass got. Because our hard ass head. My tribe. This is straight to Judah. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff. That was the staff of power. The whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. Boy, our head was so hard. The Most High whooped the shit out of us. And he started by taking the staff of power from us. And boy, our ass is soft right now today. But I want to go back to Amos. Let's go back to Amos 2. Let's go back to Amos 2, because I'm not done with these reparations. Amos 2, we're going to go to verse 5 now. But I will send a fire upon Judah, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem. Verse 6, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel. Why is Israel listed after Judah? Because Judah was the head tribe, right? And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they sold the righteous for silver and the poor for a pair of shoes. Wicked, wicked, with 2/3. At least 2/3 of the rest of the tribes of Israel. It was 2/3 of at least Judah and 2/3 of all the rest of the tribes of Israel. Look at this wicked ass shit. That pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor, and turn aside the way of the meek, and a man and his father will go in unto the same maid to profane my holy name. Now let's prove that number. Okay, let's prove that 2/3. But first, let's go to Jude. Let's go Jude 1. We're going to see. If, in fact, there was up to at least 2/3 of all of Israel, be it from Judah or any of the other 12 tribes, were unrighteous, and if something was said about it. Let's go to Jude. Going to the New Testament. Going to Jude. It's only got one chapter, and we only reading down to verse 5. Jude, the servant of Jesus Christ and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by God the Father and preserved in Jesus Christ and called, mercy unto you and peace and love be multiplied. Beloved, y'all probably see me use that word a lot in my beloved brother, King Mike Malice's lessons. Beloved, my brethren. He's addressing his brethren. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for your faith, which was once delivered unto the saints. Wait a minute. Jude's saying at one point in time, this was guaranteed. Now you got to contend for it. You got to do the works. But how did this happen? How all of a sudden now we got to contend? We got to do some things, because at one point in time, it was guaranteed. This is what it is. But as we read in Amos, Judah started with Judah, did not keep the laws of the Most High God, nor the commandments. And that shit just trickled on down from the head to the rest of the body of Israel. Let me keep going. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, wicked men. And he's talking about amongst his brethren. Wicked men, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ. God damn these damn wicked ass 2/3. Let me keep going. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this. At one point in time, all Israel knew this. How the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. It was 2/3 even way back then. And guess what he did? Destroyed them. Same Most High. Same reparation. Even to his own people. Even to us, Israel. But let's see about this 2/3. So now we're going to go to Zechariah. We're going to read about reparations for the 2/3. We're going to Zechariah. I apologize. Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. Very plain and simple. And I will and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts, this is the 2/3, shall be cut off and die. But the 1/3 shall be left therein. So real reparations, real justice for the Most High. This is what real justice looks like. This is what real reparations, what making an atonement for. Really, this is what it looked like. But now let's look at a prophetic reparation. We're going to look at a prophetic reparation in regards to the Most High for you, God-forsaken family. Let's go to Revelations 18. We're going to go, we getting all of Revelations 18. We finna see what reparations look like. Because see, what Joe Biden don't understand. First, he gave reparations. If he was going to give that gift to anybody, he gave it to the wrong folks. But two, what he and the folks he gave said reparations to don't understand is vengeance is the Most High, but it's for his people. So let's see what kind of reparations the Most High has in mind for his people in regards to you, God-forsaken Babylon, for the country you lead, Biden. Let's see what is prophesied for you in the Bible. This ain't got nothing to do with me. There's an old saying, don't kill the messenger, don't shoot the messenger. Hey, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a tool. But let's get it. The revelations of, we're going to Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. Let's get it. And after these things I saw, this is John the Revelator. He's about to reveal that was revealed to him in regards to a certain place. But remember, I told you to look for words like double. You're going to see that. You're going to see that in here. You damn sure need to look for the word Babylon. You're going to see that. You're going to see like this little stunt that Mr. Biden pulled with Africa, with Put, and with Canaan, and with Ham, and with Mizraim. You're going to see how him as the leader of her in Babylon going to get some of these nations drunk with her wine, deceived by her sorcery. We just going to see, we going to see if Joe Biden, as the chief of God-forsaken Babylon, proves the Bible to be correct. Let's get it. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. My beloved brother, man, did an excellent lesson yesterday. Excellent lesson addressing demons. Listen to me, Israel. Listen to me. If your version of the Bible has the word demons in it, that is an incorrect version. That is not one that even goes hand in hand with the Hebrew that it was transliterated from. I can prove it. I promise you I can. And I'm willing to. Please just let me know that you don't think that's the case, or you feel like that's not the case. So it's your belief that that's not the case, because I promise you, you come to me with that subjective shit, and I'm going to come with just the opposite. Some objective facts. And per 1 Thessalonians 5:21, I will prove all things and hold fast that which is good. Let me finish this. But I had to give it up to my beloved brother. That was an excellent, excellent lesson, King. Back to it. Let me get back to it. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is become the habitation of devils, even their chief, even their head man, their top guy, their head honcho, devil, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That eagle. Boy, it's no irony or coincidence. Boy, the bird of this place. Why? How ironic and coincidental. It's talking about foul birds of the foul spirits and birds of the air, fowls of the air. And lo and behold, the eagle is the bird of this place. Babylon the Great is mentioned right here in the same verse, verse 2. Verse 3, listen, remember, I hinted at this. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her. Because I promise you, Mizraim had Israel in captivity a long time ago, just before Exodus, just before Moses. Put Canaan, Ham, all y'all played y'all role. Y'all laid in bed with her. That's what y'all laid in bed with her. This ain't nothing but another business deal for y'all. Because back in the day, it wasn't a $55 billion payout. Y'all got paid. But y'all ain't giving nothing in this part of the business deal. Y'all gave a bunch of Israel up, though, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. But that's okay. Most High, all knowing, already knew. Had John the Revelator, had it revealed to John. I'm going to repeat that. And the kings like President Sal, and his forefathers before him. See, y'all, what y'all hate to hear is truths like for the iniquities of your fathers. Boy, y'all hate that. But Joe Biden said that they listen to the truths that are told. Not all the time, but sometimes. But all the time I say that, y'all hate to hear that shit. Every time I say it. For the iniquities of your father. Y'all, here you go. Here you go, talking that Bible. Hey, King Gino, talking that Bible shit again. Here you come, talking about that Bible again. And the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her, and the merchants, another business deal, y'all hear me say it, of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Boy, it's wrapped up like a real pretty little wrapped up gift, like a delicacy. That gift all wrapped up pretty. Hell, they had 15 billion of the 55 billion in a day waiting, wrapped up. What a gift. In Africa, all those biblical nations I mentioned, Put, Canaan, Ham, Mizraim, boy, they are drunk with her wine. They so drunk, they gonna take the 55 billion. I mean, they've proven that they will back in the day when they sold Israel away help capture us and hold us to sell us away. They took whatever the sum of money was then. It wasn't 55 billion, though. It may have gotten there, though. We have many of my ancestors, I think I just did a lesson where 150 million. Let's say they was cheap as hell, right? Let's just say that God-forsaken Babylon back then was cheap as hell. They said, we'll give you $1 a head. That's $150 million. And that was just the deaths. That was just the deaths of the transatlantic slave trade when I did that lesson on them. That wasn't even the ones that survived. So yeah, they probably did. Even if they just got $1 a head, they did get at least 55 billion. I must correct myself. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, Israel, this is for you. You better come out of her motherfucking ways. The American dream shit was never a dream for you. If anything was sold to your forefathers, and you should recall, our folks were given, not even sold, were given a nightmare. The very opposite of a goddamn dream. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receiveth not of her plagues. Y'all don't get out of this Christianity shit. But again, I promise you, I've already covered it. 2/3 of my people, 2/3 of my tribe, 2/3 of Issachar, 2/3 of Ephraim, 2/3 of Gad. I don't care which tribe it is. All the 12 tribes make up Israel, and 2/3 of Israel, a lot of them that's here in God-forsaken Babylon, this is going to be the reason that they get the recompense that they're going to get. Because we're going to get into the recompense for this place, Babylon. Let's keep going. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquity. So listen, Israel, if they try to give you this gift, understand vengeance is the Most High. They can't make an atonement for that, as that's one of the synonyms to reparation. It's only one way that's going to go down. It's only one way that's going to go down. But now watch some of my people. If they do it, watch some of my people. Watch what's going to happen. Sure enough, a large number, I'm not going to even call a number no more. A large number going to take it. They're going to take their gift. And we read all about these goddamn gifts, and they're going to take their gift. They're going to take their gift. That profit them not. Reward her even as she rewarded you, Israel, and double. I said, remember this word, didn't I? I remember. I said it. And double unto her. Double. according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. I even mentioned that cup. All the shit they done did to you, Israel, you better come up out of her ways, because when he come through here, and we read back in Amos about whirlwind, he gonna come through here like a serious whirlwind. He gonna, some furniture gonna move, and we finna finish reading about it. How much she have glorified herself. Remember when Joe Biden said, toast to America. Then he said, toast to the United States. Then he finally said, toast to Africa. I'm going to read this again. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. Hey, he's having a dialogue with these nations of Africa, and he's casually, over wine, casually speaking about slavery as America's sin, greatest original sin. Just casual, like it's nothing. Hell, I'm surprised they didn't dictate him saying, does anyone have any good Grey Poupon? Or some shit like that. So much torment and sorrow give her everywhere this place sends their troops. When they finally leave, nothing but sorrow is left in those places. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. See, even this place known as Babylon the Great, they'll even say, yeah, we the world superpower. You got nukes, we got nukes. We got a lot more. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be early burned with fire. If you look back over Amos with all them reparations, you see the exact same thing. He didn't change, and he ain't gonna change for you, Babylon. He is not gonna change for you. He's gonna be the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's going to be the same. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornications and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. When he burns this place, Biden just casually told the nations of Africa, for us getting some people from your land, we're going to pay you $55 billion in goods and services, right? When this motherfucker get to burning, all them leaders from those nations of Africa, they going to bewail as she burns. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. That's what your allies want to say about you, God-forsaken Babylon. Your friends, the ones that laid in bed with you, the ones that fornicated with you. But we ain't done. I'm going to keep going. And the merchants of the earth, all the folks that was buying and selling with you, especially the descendants of your slave trade. Because see, what y'all really hate to hear, here go another truth. You fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? Because you fucked up and was buying and selling the children of the Most High. Now you know you done fucked up, don't you? Oh yeah, you done fucked up now. But too late. But like I said, not only did you buy and sell these people, my people, but like I said, I did a truth for thought where I pulled the numbers up. 150 million of them you killed. 150 million of them you killed. But I'm going to address that. I'm going to address it with a verse, but the Most High addressing it right now. Because he ain't forgot. He ain't forgot again. This is all prophecy. This is all prophecy. This is a real reparation for his children. This is what reparation look like. When it comes to the Most High, this is what reparation look like. Let me keep reading. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. You won't be buying and selling, especially his children no more. See, y'all slick got little shit like y'all still got trafficking going on, right? Don't worry about it. The Most High know even those secret places. Oh, but reparations will be paid. And I promise you, it's not in the form of what you want to pay reparations in. Not your little funk ass gift. No. Let me keep on going. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat. Do y'all know that the United States is one of the world leaders in wheat import and export? I did a truth for thought where I had that in there. I want to say it was it famine? I can't recall right off the bat. But I did a truth for thought. Listen, there's no irony or coincidence in this, man. Let me keep going. And beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves. Uh-oh. Because Joe Biden said because of the slaves, he's going to give the nations of Africa $55 billion. Oh, boy. And he said the word descendants in there. But the descendants are still here. Yet you gave them $55 billion and you directly associated with slavery? Uh-oh. You done set yourself clean up for reparations. You done set yourself clean up to hear this prophecy. Let me keep going. And souls of men, that 150 million that I showed you, Israel. The demise of 150 million. Well, it's a lot of blood on our hands, old Babylon. It's a lot of blood on old Babylon's hands, boy. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, by you, Babylon, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Oh, yo. Where your $55 billion, they gonna stay way away from you. They gonna stay back, but hey, they'll cry for you. Sing a song. Play a violin or something. But that's all you gonna get, Babylon. And again, this is a prophecy. Hadn't happened yet. Hadn't happened yet. Let me keep going. And saying, alas, alas, the great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, all your allies. They won't even send a boat your way and throw your lifeline. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city wherein were made rich all that had ships. All that had ships. I'm going to tell you one of the ways you utilize your ships. You can read about it in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. But we reading about the reparations for you and your ships. Let me keep going. All that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. This is talking about Israel and Israelites. For God hath avenged you on her. Like I said, God-forsaken Babylon. You can try to pay me. I'm not going to take it. There is no reparations like that. You want to know how reparations is? You just heard it. For the Most High hath avenged my forefathers. The Most High have gotten me my reparations. This is what reparations look like. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying thus, with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. You will be desolate. Desolate. We read that back in Amos. The Most High ain't changing. He damn sure ain't gonna change for you, Babylon. And no craftsman or whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. Slice out, bitches. If you, I don't know how many of y'all have ever been to jail before, right? But every night you get to hear lights on. That's all you hear. It's over with. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sources were all nations deceived. But listen, there's a biblical nation you ain't deceiving with this little shit you doing with Africa. See, I'm an Israelite. I'm of Israel. My beloved brother, Bunchy Carter 2K on 2K is an Israelite. He's of Israel. That's a biblical nationality. You ain't deceiving us, Babylon. We woke. And we waking up more and more. We waking up more and more. So it's one more verse I want to give. But I want to start this verse. Every time I think about this verse, every time I think about Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, it say, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. You want to know what reparations look like? Biden, you want to know what reparations look like? To all them nations over in Africa, y'all want to know what reparations look like? Because y'all had a party. Y'all laid in bed with them. Y'all want to know what reparations look like? I'm going to show you. Let's go to Revelations 13 and 10. We finna hear the conclusion of the matter. Revelations 13 and 10. And it reads, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must, a strong word there, must, strong verb, must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That's reparations for you. And the reparations is for the saints. And guess who the saints are? Oh, Israel. With that, Israel, I want to ask you again if you can be charitable to both King Greg and Queen Sharon. I always do that when I'm saying their names. Because for some reason, when I put her name first, I'll almost call her King. Because King Greg and Queen Sharon. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get this right. King Greg and Queen Sharon. You will find their CashApp in the description. You can find all the links to everything used in this Truth for Thought in description. You can find all the scriptures for this Truth for Thought in description. And I just want to end it on that, you know. And the title was Reparations with an exclamation mark, like, really? Then a question mark, like, they must not know what reparation really look like. Then another exclamation mark, like, really? Then another question mark, like, they couldn't know what reparations really look like. Well, Babylon, this is what reparations look like. per the Most High God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So again, don't shoot the messenger. But understand, ain't no running from the message. With that, Israel, I bid you Shabbat Shalom. Till next time, be it the Most High will. It's your brother Marcus G, and I'm out.
Take up the white man's burden. Send forth the best ye breed. Go bind your sons to exile, to serve your captives' need, to wait in heavy harness, unfluttered folk and wild, your new-caught sullen peoples, half devil and half child. Rudyard Kipling, The White Man's Burden. From the very outset of this great nation, from the first permanent English settlements on North American soil a century and a half before the Declaration of Independence, there has been a root of darkness buried deep in the heart and soul of America. Although some colonists came with a pure desire for religious freedom, and others came solely to turn a profit, nearly all came with a lens and a worldview which tainted their endeavors to a degree that our society as a whole is only beginning to fully grasp at this present hour hundreds of years later. From the most devout saint to the most hardened sinner, the British settlers who first inhabited colonial America possessed a cultural and moral superiority which caused them to view both indigenous people as well as African slaves as less than human. This underlying hubris caused them to shoulder the white man's burden, the belief that as the superior race, God Almighty had called them to refine and to reform the ignorant, backward people they found both in North America and in West Africa, lifting them out of their dark ages into a new era of European cultural enlightenment. Yet it was this very narrative which, rather than empowering them to lead a moral and cultural crusade, blinded their eyes to the innumerable atrocities and crimes against humanity which they perpetrated on these North American shores. Believing they were the protagonists of a cosmic story to bring freedom and democracy to the world, they instead brought enslavement and displacement, forced assimilation and genocide. And it didn't stop with the colonists. This white man's burden bled into the founding of the United States of America and spilled its proud blood across every seminal document and page of our history from 1776 until the present day, providing us with a moral justification for our endless string of brutal conquests, from Indian country and half of Mexico to Hawaii and the Philippines, from Central and South America to Iraq and Afghanistan. Fueled by a distrust and a disdain for those we have labeled as other, our government continues to sell us on a culture of perpetual warfare by dehumanizing our enemies. In the same way that our brutality toward Native Americans and Africans was rationalized by labeling them as heathens and savages, we now go to war with complete impunity against terrorists and drug dealers, reducing third world nations to rubble with our first world weapons. Even domestically, we have found that this vilification of the other works wonders to help us appease our collective conscience and to swallow the bitter pill of militarized policing, mass incarceration, and inhumane immigration policy, so long as those on the receiving end are depicted as deplorables. Yet from the very beginning, what the bitter root of this white man's burden has prevented us from seeing is our common humanity, even as stated in our own Constitution that all men are created equal. All men, all women, all races, all ethnicities, whether they are born on American soil or not. And until we the people embrace this fundamental truth, until we stop seeing the nations and the cultures of the earth as less than, until we stop trying to lead the world by conquest and coercion, until we stop trying to fix everyone else and take a good hard look at ourselves, we will never be the bastion of freedom and democracy that we claim and have the potential to be. Because the great irony of America is that the fundamental freedom which our founding fathers bled and died for, the right to self-govern, is the very freedom we now deny to sovereign nations all over the earth. Now is the time to lay down the white man's burden once and for all, and to celebrate the incredible diversity that makes up this great nation and the wondrous world in which we live.